previously in the anime, Kai defeated the demon queen Vanessa to free the humans from her tyranny, but after her defeat, Vanessa started to remember that humanity's strongest hero, Sid, had entrusted her to keep his light sword safe because someone from the other three races was trying to alter the world with world reincarnation, but Demon Queen and hero Sid were enemies. So Vanessa told Kai to find the missing records of the history to find out the real history because that will be the key to turn the world back to normal. So Kai was set to move out to defeat the leader of the other three races, and luckily Jean also had the same thought and assembled her unit to liberate humanity from the other three races. So now as the story continues, following days were going smoothly, everyone were happy they got their land back from the demons. But then a demon barrier surrounded the office building and a new demon girl attacked Kai out of nowhere, so Rin threw her away to a safe distance. Her name is Heinermeryl, a succubus and the little sister of Vanessa. She got the news that Kai beat her, so she told him that Vanessa was alone when they defeated her, so if other high-ranking demons shows up, they'll have no chance of winning. That is why she offered a ceasefire in the terms where that humans could have royal capital while all the other territories will belong to demons. Kai didn't take her offer right away and chose to tell this to higher-ups. With it her job here was done and she left, but she warned him to be wary of Celestial Lord Alfreya. And now Jean's unit was on their way to Celestial Lord's domain where they'll have to cooperate with the Low Federation rebel army. The Celestial domain contains an alliance of elves, dwarfs, fairies, and angels. They're all cowards but more cunning than humans. The Rin told Kai and others that a dragon is approaching, so all unit got prepared for a fight. The dragon flipped 2 cars. But Kai and Rin made the dragon retreat, so for a chance they stopped to take a rest at night, but Rin wanted to sleep in the same tent as Kai. And their Jean and Fallon also showed up because this tent was for commanding officials, so she's gonna sleep here. That is why Fallon took Kai out and told him she will stand guard outside because it will be bad if she stays inside, because others thinks Jean is a boy, so Kai has to guard her. But Fallon warned her not to do anything to Jean. Then again, what could Kai do if the girls themselves sleep with him like this? Well, that kept him up all night, and after that, their journey continued and they arrived at the Low Federation, but there they received such a warm welcome from the residents. After that, Zephan the army advisor, welcomed them with his unit, so Jean wanted to meet the commander Dante right away. But Zephan told Jean to have patience with Dante because he comes from a royal bloodline, so he still thinks that he's a king here. Then outside of Dante's office, they saw Cabre, Dante's personal assistant, and Rin felt odd seeing her. Then she took them to Dante and he was just a jerk because Jean arrived late for their scheduled time for meeting. So Jean told him they were attacked, but Dante said Jean is making excuses, and now that Jean had fled her land from demons, Dante thinks that Jean wants to steal his low rebel army. They got here because Jean received a message of help, but Dante wasn't the one who sent the help signal, it was his subordinates, such an incompetent idiot. So Jean advised him that it's up to peoples and the subordinates will decide who gets the honor, and if he wants honor, he should behave in a manner worthy of it. Then the meeting starts. And Zephan told Jean that all the territory of the celestial races are uncharted ground, so they don't know where the celestial lord is located, so Jean decides to go on an exploration. And Dante says a commander has to stay behind to give orders not to take front lines, but Jean clears up that she's doing this for the people living in this land. And everyone started to admire Jean as a hero, so Dante was displeased that Jean was taking all the honor for himself. So Cabre was on Dante's side that a commander should live behind to give orders, and after that, Jean returned from Elven Forest and gave a report of their territory to the soldiers. But Dante was pissed that Jean was gaining a footing in the council, so Cabre suggested him an idea to achieve something greater than Jean. And it was her idea that Dante should attack Elven Forest to get prisoner of wars. He got spies exploring the Elven Forest, so he ordered Zephan to prepare soldiers and keep it a secret from Jean. So they went ahead with their plan, and Rin warned Kai that Cabre isn't a human, but it was already too late, and away from there at Celestial Palace, Celestial Lord Alfreya decided to rule over all the other alliance races and trapped Elf Elder, but Elder managed to save her companion Rayron in time. So Rayron called out for a meeting of all the other races to inform them about the betrayal of Celestial Lord Alfreya, and on the other side, Jean got the news about Dante's disappearance. And there's a good chance Cabre is behind it. Elves are very similar to humans, so if they hid their ears no one could tell the difference. And then Jean was leading her group to search for Dante and they saw the magic circles, it enough proof to show that Dante and others were kidnapped. So Rin was leading everyone to the place as she could still sense the magic of elves. The smell led them to an end and a teleport circle took them to the elf settlement. There a kid chasing down a butterfly passes by and they realize it's a great fairy. There she runs into them and she realized all of them don't have magic. Ashran told her they are humans. So she ran away instantly in fear to the village. They came after her and guards were ready to stop them, but Cabre stopped them on time. So Jean asked her about Dante. And Cabre assured her that they are all fine, they just inhaled a paralysis plant so they will be out for a few days, and she'll free them under one condition. And the condition is to fight against angels for them because they betrayed them first. She took them to where their Ryiran was, and she felt Jean was wearing an elven garment. So Jean told her that they got it from a border of the Urza Federation. It was an item demon stole, so they ambushed them and took it from them. If that's the case, Ryiran saw no problem because if they would have stolen it from them she wouldn't have spared them. Then she proposed a contract. They'll free the hostages in return for them defeating Alfreya. Alfreya has changed, but once he used to be so gentle, but now he's changed and he wants all other races to be slaves of angels. So Ryiran and Great Elder met Alfreya. But he heard no word of theirs and captured their elder. But they'll be a nutjob to simply believe on them and jump in. So Cabre offered her life and told them she'll lead them to Angel's Palace. And if they feel like it's a trap, they could kill her anytime. But Cribre's life has no meaning at all in front of 6 lives, so Ryiran offered herself in place of Cabre. Only then Jean accepted the deal. Then at night, Ryiran sensed that Kai and Rin were the ones who defeated Vanessa. But can it work on Alfreya too? Because if it doesn't then they will simply die. Kai believed it would and asked if she knew anything about Sid and got nothing. So the next day, the time came for them to move out. And this tree was the gate that took them to the Sky Castle of Angels. There they saw many bodies of angels but they weren't dead, so they went to the next floor. And there were still many more to come. It was good that Ryiran was here, because it would have been troublesome if they had come here alone. But there they got attacked by an angel named Vicious. She was on Alfreya's side and thinks all the land dwellers are just bugs. Ryiran just thought she was the one who beat all the angels up. And Vicious says she did it because they weren't complying with Alfreya. But aside from them, Alfreya will execute Elf Elder to serve it as a message to all smaller races. So Fallon along with Ashran and Saki engages in a fight for others to leave, but when they got to another floor another angel attacked them. He was a big guy, Rafilo. So Rin this time stayed behind and they moved to the next floor, but moving ahead from here was complex because of the different layers. So in that time Jean opened up she feels sorry that Kai had to fight Vanessa. But this time she'll fight alongside him and there the gate got opened and they arrived at the place where Elder was encased in a crystal, but Alfreya was also here. And he relays that only angels are worthy of receiving the blessing from heaven bestowed upon earth, and no other race. And right there, our 2 episodes end right here, so stay tuned to watch more of the upcoming episode, and to watch that, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to never miss out on any of our updates. Until then, take care.